All right, so I'm just making some jelly, and I usually make jellies when we are kind of like in between fruit. So if the fruit is kind of going bad and looking a little interesting, I just making it to like a jam or jelly. And I do really simple jellies. I don't use pectin. Don't advise by me because I don't know if you're actually supposed to use pectin or how that works when you can it, but we can them and they've been fine. So I use chia seeds sometimes as a thickener or arrowroot powder, but this is just like a quick jam I put together. I kind of think of whatever seasoning to put in it and a little bit of sugar and stuff and just see how it comes out. Ours aren't thick like your jelly or jam that you get from the store, but they work as a spread. Kadeem uses them in like his grits bowl. He like grits and egg in the morning, which he eats most days, and I use them sometimes when I like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but I use it with a different kind of jelly, or if we make like egg sandwiches or something with turkey or something, sausage, or sometimes it's just eggs and you know, fresh bread and our jellies that we make. So I could just show you putting this together. I have some like apple scraps, or not scraps, but this was like 2 apples that were left over, and when they start to get kind of soft, or I see we're not eating them up and they're, you know, spots on it going bad, I just cut some parts off and turn it into a jam or jelly. Okay, so the taste we're trying to go for is like a strawberry lime jam, and I do have some apples in here, so I'm hoping that sweetens it too, because these apples are pretty sweet and they act as a natural pectin, so like a natural thickener. When you are making jams and jellies, you know, you have to get pectin and stuff like that, so I don't use that. So we have apples in here and like a medium saucepan. We're just gonna turn this on, bring it up to a boil. The fruits kind of make their own juices, but sometimes I will put like a little bit of water at the bottom just so it doesn't burn. But and just slightly heat it up and let it get a little juicy. And we're gonna start with like, did about a cup of sugar, so sprinkle that on top. Usually I season some of these jellies just to make them a little different with like cardamom or something like that. Like I think I made a blackberry mango cardamom, and since we don't really keep ketchup in the house, because I don't know, we just moved away from using ketchup. Sometimes we'll use like a homemade like mayo, which is just egg and oil, since we have chickens that are laying. That's easy to make. Or you want like a topping for a burger, sometimes they're a little like not so sweet jellies or jams or sauces or chutneys or whatever you want to call them. They can be used as toppings on different stuff, but this one I kind of want to make like a sweeter jelly, so I can eat it with like peanut butter and jelly, or in like different bowls and stuff like that. You want to sweeten some oatmeal or sweeten some, I like rice in the morning sometimes, and I eat it with blueberries, so maybe I can just mix this jelly in there or jam, and that should work. So I'm just gonna come up to a boil, and then we're gonna use an immersion blender to kind of blend it together. Sometimes I add in chia seeds because it acts as a thickener, and it's also very good for you. It has a lot of minerals in it and vitamins and whatever, all the sorts that are really good for digestion. And then I'll add some arrowroot powder to act as a thickener, so we can make it into the consistency of what will be your normal jelly. So let's just stir the pot. It's just gonna cook. Just gonna let this go for a few minutes. And I forgot to add in the lime juice. So we got strawberry lime jelly. This sounds amazing. All right, y'all. We'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do today is I have some chicken soaking in some lime juice. That's how I wash the chicken off. Either use lime juice or vinegar, typically lime juice when I have it in the house. And I have my 2 Dutch ovens. My oven's set to 400. So we're gonna do just 2 chickens. I try to keep the marinades pretty simple or the seasonings because I'm having an interesting diet right now just because of pregnancy and, well, post-pregnancy. After having him, still things bother me or bother him, so I've kind of cut out soy. I've cut out really acidic stuff, and I'm trying to cut down on seasonings, but that's very hard for me. So we're just gonna do like a jerk seasoning for one, which is not spicy, and then the other one's gonna be like a lemon pepper chicken, and just low on salt and not too much flavor, just because I'm trying to keep it simple. When it comes to him, I can't really pinpoint what bothers him some days, but I try to get digestive herbs that really help. If you are breastfeeding, like dill, fenugreek is really good, which I need to go get that to add in. I try to add it into most of my stuff because it just helps with his digestion. So use some Indian fenugreek. And if you are breastfeeding, stay away from stuff like parsley and sage because it will drop your milk supply. It's actually herbs that are used for drying out the milk, so you just want to be careful of that when you get certain spices from places. But I also have, which I need to remember to use today, I made a herb blend of different things. This has like raspberry leaf and a bunch of herbs for breastfeeding. So I hope this doesn't mess up the flavor too much of my chicken, but it shouldn't. It's just a bunch of blended herbs. Like if you would drink a tea or something, I just blended them down. I can't tell you all of the herbs. I don't remember. It was like probably raspberry leaf, fenugreek, fennel. I put a little lavender for calmness. Oat straw. Just all those things that keep you calm when you're nursing, keeps the milk, the lactation going, and the flow up. So I did make that blend. So that's something I need to use today is this. Make sure I use it on my chicken marinades, but just a little bit so I don't kill the flavor of things. But yes, all of them are lactation herbs, and that's something you can do if you have some herbs in your cabinet. Just blend them up and make them into like a spice. And you'll cover it with other spices too, so it's not too potent, but definitely put your medicine in your food. So I'm gonna get this chicken, get this water drained out of this chicken, and I'm gonna start our marinades. Okay, so just a few minutes later, we're checking in on our jelly, and you see it's made its own juices, so that's good. So we're gonna keep that going and just kind of stew all of these vegetables down real good, and we'll use the immersion blender once they're done. That's looking good. Okay, so we have our chicken in our Dutch oven. I love Dutch ovens. My dad got me like 3 more of these, which I love them. So that is a cube of basil pesto. I added to each one. This one will be our jerk, and this is for like either for dinner, or we make like Caesar wraps. I can't use the Caesar dressing because it has like a lot of dairy in it. That's another thing, we can't eat dairy, but I will use honey mustard for my wraps, and like dandelion greens, which are great for digestion if you have issues using the restroom after birth, which is a thing. That might be TMI for some people, but it is the truth. So basil is really good for lactating as well. So I use a basil and radish pesto that I had made, and then we're gonna season them up. Like I said, for this one, we're just gonna use this lactation blend that I made of different herbs. We got some dill that's really good for lactating, thyme, and this jerk seasoning that we got from DeKalb. And again, that one's not really spicy. For this one, it's going to be like a lemon pepper chicken, so we're just going to use some smoked paprika, the basil cube, lemon pepper. I have fenugreek for lactating, and I'm going to add a little bit of dill to it too. So that's my blend. Okay, everything is seasoned up. Add a little salt to it as well. We're going to add a little avocado oil on top and get in there with our hands and give them some love. Give it some good love. Gotta marinate them things. Got to marinate it. Everything needs a little hand love. Gotta get in there. Maybe add a little butter to it too. You need a little fat. Fat makes the, well, oil is fat too, but you know, a good fat, cooking fat can make it, the spices kind of grab onto it and, you know, give it a nice crisp in the oven. That looks nice, y'all. That looks nice. Gonna get in there with our hands. All right, now just gotta get in there and rub them around. Make sure they get some good loving. Love on your chicken. It'll come out better. Come out real good if you just put your hands in it. Healing hands. I think my old ancestor is coming out through me when I cook. She has to, or the food ain't gonna come out that good. You gotta let your inner self be. My inner Cynthia is coming out. Hello, ancestors. And I keep these with the skin up because I like to take the top off of my Dutch oven at the end and kind of let the skin crisp. So that's a good way to let your skin kind of crisp up in the oven too, is to leave them this side up. I'm also going to add some chicken broth because I made a good chicken broth the other day with a lot of different lactation herbs, and so the chicken doesn't dry out either. And it's in the refrigerator. I'm going to get that. Ooh, lemon pepper. Lemon pepper. Lemon pepper chicken. Chicken. Okay. Rub that guy in. Need a little color on it. Alrighty. Make sure this butter's on top of this one and this one. This is gonna melt on there and give all of them a little love with a little pesto and butter. And make sure these are on top. Okay. Just making sure on my skin get enough room. Chicken. Okay, so we're gonna go grab our broth, which I'm gonna show you how pretty that broth came out. Look at this rich, beautiful yellow broth, y'all. This is like the best color looking chicken broth I ever made. It went for like a day or two, but yeah, if you have some chicken wings, they make for a really good gelatinous broth, or chicken feet, or I use a carcass of our chickens that we harvested, which I'm still going through those, but makes for a nice rich broth. I also added apple in this. I don't know if that helped, but yeah, like apples, onions, celery, all that goodness, and then some like anise and clove and fenugreek and probably nettle and stuff in there. So we're just gonna add a little bit in here, just so it doesn't dry out. That looks good. All right, y'all, she ready to go into oven. Everybody say into oven. She got to go in the oven. I'm kidding, y'all. I don't know who that is. All right, and we're looking good over here. Ooh, she is bubbling. So this is like the point that I get my fruit to and stuff, where you can start to add in your arrowroot powder and your chia seeds to kind of finish it off. And that's about all I do for my fruit. I don't cook it to smithereens too much, you know. All right, so we got our arrowroot powder, our chia seeds, and our immersion blender. Okay, we gotta talk fast. We finished our jelly and it's pretty thick. The baby is going crazy. So look, woo! It should gel up more. All right, bye y'all. All right, we had to stop y'all for the baby ripped my face off. But we got 3 half-pint jars and the jelly, and it is setting a little bit more. You see, it's a little bit thicker. And this is just with the arrowroot powder and, like I said, the chia seeds. So not like your traditional jellies, but it does still have a set, and it gets a jelly consistency. Can these, but this is just not enough to can. I'll probably let this cool and freeze it. When you put like a glass jar in the freezer, just make sure you have some little, you know, some more head space so the jar doesn't crack, and you have to let it cool all the way. And one of these are going in the refrigerator because they're just really good and we want to eat it. Ooh, look at that. So I hope it sets a little bit more, but it is pretty thick. Strawberry, lime, and apple jelly. Looks good, y'all. So here's our jerk chicken, lemon pepper chicken. Both of these are really good. I really like the lemon pepper. And then this is our base chicken recipe. So all came out pretty good. I could have made the skin a little crispier, but I probably won't even use the skin on a lot of these. So if we want to like put them back in the oven and crisp them up a little on the skin, we can. So I forgot to take the top off, but that's our finished product. And our jelly, I taste it on a piece of toast. This is some good stuff, y'all. So that's it for today. So y'all, we done found a discovery for my my jellies. What do we call them? Jellies, jams? It's an all-in-one. We got a spread, basically. So this is for in place of your jellies, in place of your sauces and stuff, in place of ketchup or whatever. Now you can use this jelly. But not only is a jam, a jelly, or a spread, we have now discovered you can use it to make lemonade. Y'all, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. Ain't no more simply, baby. It's simply delicious. How was that?
Baby. Let me tell you something.
Lemonade, y'all. Look at this. It's better than simply, y'all. This is simply delicious. Oh my God, I can't believe.
I hope you didn't have your breast in the video.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I ain't gonna say that on camera. But that's good. That's good. So now, if you made a jelly like, you know, how we made it with just a thickener, and probably no pectin, because it can't be like too thick, I don't think. If it was like a jelly, I don't know if it would mix in like that, would it? You know, if it was like a thicker jelly, like a store-bought jelly, I don't know if it would mix in water like that.
I don't think so.
But ours is like a spread, so it's all water soluble stuff. So just, you could add a little bit in with some water, a little bit more sugar. Got y'all lemonade. That's all I wanted. Good night, y'all.